this very important session at International MICE Showcase 2.0 Virtual Summit. Do we need government support? Do we need the government's attention on our industry? And if yes, how we can achieve it? Well, friends, from the industry, from the trade, we all know how and what kind of a situation we are all in. It's a dire situation. It's a situation where our industry is in turmoil. We have Mr. Kailash Murarka, who is the chairman of Blast Division 2020. We have Mr. Girish Quatra, who is the honorary secretary of ICPB. We have Mr. Subhash Goel, who is the honorary secretary of Faith. We have Mr. Sanjoy Roy, who is the immediate past president of EMA. We have Mr. Captain Swadesh Kumar, who is the president of ADOAI. We have Mr. Gajesh Girdhar, who is the founder chairman of NIMA. We have their details. I would like to begin the session with Mr. Girish Quatra, who is representing ICPB, the Indian Convention Promotion Bureau. Mr. Quatra, welcome. Our industry is in turmoil, and ICPB encompasses all the elements of MICE, and it's a body, it's an organization which everybody looks up to. It encompasses entire segment of MICE. Can you tell us what is the situation currently? People are afraid, fraternity is afraid what is going to be the future. Can you give some hope? Can you give some words of wisdom and enlighten the audience? What is the current update in regards to government's response to our various calls of help and rescue?
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you very much. First of all, let me thank you for organizing such an esteemed panel. And I think what you're doing now is one of the answers to one of the questions that you've asked, is that what is the future of MICE? So to start with, let me put it this way. In today's world, when everything is dead, nothing is moving. Talking about tourism sector, no tourism is moving, but MICE is still alive through events like this. So the intermediaries, the agencies, the PCOs, the conference sector, the conference companies, they're still doing events, if not physically and virtually. So if I may say, MICE is the only sector which is still alive. Of course, the percentage is less, talking about 25,000 meetings annually happening in different parts of the world, the international meetings. Of course, those meetings are reduced to maybe say 10% of that. But MICE is still happening. That is one thing about MICE that I'm very confident about, that MICE will go on. That is one. And coming, of course, to all three questions that you put one by one. First is about ICPB. So ICPB is Indian Convention Promotion Bureau. And the mandate of Bureau is to promote India as a convention destination. So what ICPB has done in past 6 months, and of course the plans to do in future. So what we did in past 6 months, that we've done a lot of advocacy to the government. Try telling the government that what good things about MICE should come in. And what things should change in MICE. For example, what we've been able to achieve through regular, push to the government is that we've been able to come with a champion sector program, wherein any MICE woman coming to the country will get a rebate of 50% on the hotel tax, which is a great achievement. It was never there. We've been talking about it from last many decades, but finally it's coming to action now. So that's a great news. As soon as my physical MICE bounce back soon, maybe next couple of months or few months, then of course that is one thing that you'll see soon, that international travelers, they always used to complain about high GST component in India. But now after the new scheme by Ministry of Tourism, of course, all the ministries together, and this of course is a great relief to international MICE travelers to India now. That's one. And what, you asked about what government should do, of course, to get MICE business to India, MICE traffic to India. I think this is the right time for government to pitch in and prove that they exist. First thing first is that we should get MICE under one platform. Today what we do, that I talk about conferences, somebody else talks about exhibition, Sanjoy is there, they talk about events. So we of course there are 4 different associations talking 4 different languages, but cause is common, MICE. So I think first thing first, the government should come forward and create a common umbrella called MICE. We should get an industry status, I think, which will be taking us ahead from our competition. Second is that in this current time, when the tourism is dead everywhere, countries are coming up with plans, incentives to start MICE. I think this is the right time for government to come in. We should start an incentive scheme. We should announce an incentive schemes all over. One of the major things that Singapore is successful and Thailand is successful, they have worked upon a brand ambassador program. I think the brand ambassador program is a must. If government can start that, nothing can better that, because in brand ambassador program, you don't involve me, you involve the end user in the country. So what is the brand ambassador program for the intelligence of everybody? Let me tell that. It is a program which is done for universities, medical colleges, wherein you invite professors, principals, head of the departments there. You educate them what is the potential of MICE and how can they get the international event to India, and they pay them to attend international meetings, and they also pay them to bid for international meetings. So I think if that program comes to the picture, the success story of Singapore Convention Bureau was on base of this, and they far ahead from this. I think this is the right time. We've been talking to the government. Government, of course, has given good green signals. I'm sure that should come on. So brand ambassador program is the right time to come in. That is another aspect to it.
I'd like to move to Mr. Sanjoy Roy, who's the immediate past president of IMA. And under his leadership, they have taken various advocacy measures to help restart the industry in India. I'd like to ask him how supportive the government has been and what have been their expectations from the government. How can the business events or even the event industry kickstart in India again? What are their expectations?
Thanks, Raghav, and thanks, Girish. I absolutely support everything that you've just said. And Raghav, I've just come off I'm the co-chair on FICCI for our Committee for Creative Industries, etc., as well as for tourism, and Dr. Jyotsna Suri was there. So one of the things that we talked about in the meeting today, I said to Sangeeta Reddy, President FICCI, I said, it's time to take off our gloves. It's not enough anymore to say, government, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. We're not asking government to do a favor. We are asking government, now that they've acknowledged that it's a hand of God that's created the economic crisis and there's going to be contraction in the economy, which all of us are going to feel over the next 12 to 18 months. And it's going to be a very difficult situation. We're talking about opening up. I don't think there's any evidence today that even you're going to be able to find salaries to pay our colleagues opening up hotels, etc. So we've said that one of the things we have to do is take the fight now to government to say, you have to make interventions. You have to put in money to be able to support tourism, hotels, hospitality, all the sectors that have been affected in so many different ways. Otherwise, there's going to be annihilation. Just in the event sector, we've understood from the last testing the temperature report that we put out with FICCI, British Council, EY, etc., that of the 10 million jobs, 9 million jobs has been lost. And like in the tourism sector, in the hotel industry sector, as Dr. Suri said, and a couple of your colleagues from the tourism sector said, that they're not even opening up the hotels because of the taxes that have to be paid out the minute you start opening up. So government has to relook at policy. It's not enough to say that, oh, we can't do, or let's all do it together. There's nothing about us doing it together. This is now taxpayers' money. Can we please look at rebooting demand? Today I'm speaking to you from Goa. I've come to our home in Goa, and I took a flight. It was Vistara. There were 6 people in a row. Everybody was wearing a mask and a shield. And if that can happen, and we've seen the latest report of 4,000, of every 4,930 people who take a flight, and Subhashji knows this, only 1 person will be infected. Now, if that is the evidence in place, and the second report, as you know, that came out yesterday, which was very worrying, which said COVID can return. If you've been infected after 6 months, you can get COVID, which means that the vaccine, which we're thinking, looking as a silver bullet, may not happen anytime soon in the effective way that we are looking at it. So you're looking at a 12 to 18 month syndrome. We all need to speak together, and this is something that I spoke with CII as well, and ASSOCHAM, saying, can we collectively, with one voice, as Girish said, go to government and say, these are our problems, these are the solutions. We need the tax incentives, we need policy changes, we need to relook at the ease of doing business, opening up. Can you look at 3 things? One, can you do a 50% a salary rebate for everybody who's salaried? So 50% of the money that goes directly into the salary account. It doesn't have to go to our company accounts. This is something that's being done, as you know, across most companies, it's across most countries. It's computed and will help us. The second thing that Nobel laureates Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo said is that 2,500 rupees must be given as a base support amount to each and every person in each and every person in India to be able to kickstart demand. If you do not kickstart demand, the industry is going to collapse completely. It's already collapsed. We're seeing the evidence of that. It's not enough to say, let's open up in a small way. We know what the virtual world is capable of. That's fine. But we also know till we start opening up exhibitions, etc. And Raghav, my last point to you all is that please remember that whether it's with FICCI or IMA, we've been able to push through the protocol with Government of India in heritage spaces and museums. So what is the protocol? They have opened up 1,363 museums and heritage spaces, which allows for 5,000 people to come through each of these places a day. Now you have two systems. You have airlines that are flying and allowing for those kind of people with safety. You have museums and heritage spaces. So what is stopping them from allowing this across sectors? What is stopping the exhibition sector from being allowed to open up with 5,000 people a day in following the protocol in a particular 10,000, 5,000, whatever the square feet that we need to calculate, etc. These are protocols already presented by government, not by you, accepted by government and released. So why are we being discriminated against? And this must stop. This sectoral discrimination has to stop. And we can continue doing very polite webinars and seminars and Zoom meetings for the next 1.5 years and saying how beautiful government is. Well, it isn't. They're not dealing with the problem on the ground. I think all of us need to stand up and say, this is our money. We expect you to intervene. These are the interventions that we must ask for collectively as one voice.
Very well put, Mr. Roy. And as you rightly said that, other businesses are opening up, then why not the MICE sector? With this, I would like to come to Mr. Kailash Murarka. And he is behind one of the leading B2B exhibitions in not just in India, but in the world, Plastivision.
Thank you very much, Raghavji. It is a very, very right concern which has been debated, discussed, or, felt concern. And you have been able to connect all the industry stakeholders from different verticals and put before the table all important ways and means to survive. As your title also said, this turmoil is such that now it has become a question of individual survival. The survival of exhibition industry, survival of MICE members, or survival of event industry is of course very important. But today, this is something, which is unprecedented before. And we are facing something for which we really do not know what is the end, where it is heading to. So, I would pray God and request all of our colleagues and listeners also. So first of all, it is very, very, very important. So, if suppose I cannot help in supporting the rest of the country or rest of the people, I must safeguard myself from getting infected. I think that is also a service to the nation. Now, the number of people are getting infected day by day. It is building up pressure. And unless and until this chain breaks, unless and until this number stops increasing and they start reducing, I think talking about our industry opening up is going to be, a bit difficult. Now, as far as exhibition industry is concerned, first of all, I totally endorse and completely agree with Mr. Girish and Mr. Sujoy, whatever they said. And I know many people, they have been having such a difficult time, but being honest human being, they have been supporting their staff, their team by paying, if not 100%, they started paying 80%, then 70%, but something is being supported. But the question is how long and from where the funds will arrive in. So that is where, when you are absolutely helpless, then you look at the government or, God. God, of course, will help us for saving our life, our health. But I think this is the time, through MICE and through our industry associations, we have to represent to the government. And I would suggest all of us put together, jot down our concerns and issues, and then filter them and properly tabulate in such a way that we can represent with the government with a solid scheme and plan proposal. Probably you can cite some example from other countries, whatever their governments have done. But like another thing, what they said, 2,500 rupees every individual. So that is also one thing that will increase consumerism. Consumerism will increase the event industry and the hotel industry. Everything is fine, but something solid, concrete needs to be done for supporting the industry, which is, it is in the verge of getting collapsed. I know many people, those who are exhibitors. After all, exhibitions are successful because of their exhibitors first and then the visitors. Now, if suppose we are asking government to allow us to do exhibition, first of all, the question is whether our exhibitors are ready to take part, because for last 6-7 months, the situation has been such that all the industries members, those who are potential exhibitors, they have not been doing business. They have not been able to sell whatever was produced. They are not able to get the money, whatever they sold before also, and they don't know what will happen to future. So first of all, they all are busy consolidating their self and arranging their day-to-day needs. If I talk to them that, okay, after 2 months we have an exhibition, I don't know how many people will be very keen to immediately confirm. So exhibition starting is very, very important because the way the market has crushed, it is important. Every exhibitor needs marketing platform, and exhibitions are the only media which can do the promotion for your products. So first is getting exhibitors, second then visitors. Now today everybody is so scared. People are not ready to get out of their houses, for very important work also. So if I announce an exhibition after a month or after 2 months, or say absolutely after the COVID is over, how soon people will come to the exhibition and in what numbers? We are habitual of seeing lakhs of people visiting in exhibitions, and that's the reason the success of the exhibition is happening and exhibitors are ready to invest. But going forward, we really do not know, okay, if an exhibitor is spending 20 lakh, 50 lakh, 1 crore rupee, so that investment, whether it will be worthwhile or not. So I strongly support the mission of all of us that government should support in any which way it is possible. Many exhibitions have just held in past 6 months, 1 year. I would say by way of giving them support as much as GST these exhibitions they collected. If suppose that also can be given to that particular exhibition to say that please, in fact, I would say, why should we request government? It should be the government's initiative. They should call all of us. Okay, now look, we have to live, we have to become alive. So please start planning exhibition. We will support you. Instead of banning, they should say, okay, come forward. Let us plan the ways and means and disciplines how we can do an exhibition successfully without risking to the life of human being. So they should invite us, because after all, if exhibition happens, then business happens. And if business happens, government succeeds. No, that is the mission of government also. The whole exhibition industry, we just had last meeting, Raghavji, that exhibition organizers council. So we are in the process of, gathering data. The amount of revenue is generated out of exhibition. But the problem is we are not able to collectively portray to the government that, look, we are generating so much revenue for the government. So please look after us. The other countries like Germany, now they are like partners to the exhibition. All the exhibition venues are owned 49% by the government, 51% by the either exhibition organizers or private bodies. And those venues are running the whole country. The whole city or whole township, wherever that it is. It is generating employment. It is giving business to mice. It is giving business to taxi. It is giving business to restaurant and hotels. So I think it is high time. We have been knocking the door of these various governments for last 10 years. Nobody has even cared to look at us. I think very strongly, as Mr. Roy also said, okay, this ego massaging and talking goody is enough. We have to show our strength. We have to be little harsh also, but we have to say, please perform and deliver what is expected out of you.
Very well said, Mr. Murarka. I think it's the time to build unity amongst ourselves,
Right.
and to reflect one common voice, so that government understands who we are and where we are coming from and what kind of a strength are we showcasing? Well, thank you for your comments. And with this, I would like to move to Mr. Subhash Goyal, who is a veteran in the travel trade industry, and he has spent decades in the industry, visiting various countries, knowing the international scenario pretty well, and he is also representing Faith.
Raghavji, firstly, thank you very much for this opportunity. For your viewers, I would like to inform that FAITH is the Federation of Associations of Indian Tourism and Hospitality, which includes inbound tour operators, domestic tour operators, travel agents, MICE operators, adventure operators, tourist transporters, hotel association, hotel and restaurant association, so heritage hotels. So all segments of the tourism industry are represented by FAITH. And I can assure you, you see, whatever Girish and Sanjoy and everyone has said, the government is fully aware. I mean, we have wrote on FAITH, we have left no stone unturned, right from the Prime Minister downwards, whether it was Niti Aayog, whether it was Reserve Bank, whether it was not only this, I have personally signed letters to each and every member of parliament, right? We have blasted the social media. We have jammed the Prime Minister's Twitter handle. So all that has been done. But unfortunately, you see, when the migrant workers have not got anything, please don't expect anything from the government, right? So what we need to do is, when we all started our business, we didn't get any government support, right? Now we have to again start from zero. Only thing that we are asking the government, which does not cost any money, is that whatever licenses, whether they are bar licenses or they are tourist permits or they are visas that were issued to tourists, should be extended by 1 year automatically without any charges. This is something which doesn't cost the government any amount. Second thing which we are asking the government is that, for God's sake, whatever, what we have requested the government, that pending the Kamath committee, give us another 6 months of moratorium. This moratorium also, FAITH, along with all the associations, we put pressure and we got this moratorium. But now, you see, nothing has happened. There is not a single rupee that is coming into the travel agents, the tour operators, the MICE operators, the hoteliers, anyone. So we need another 6 months to 1 year moratorium. Third thing we want from the government is, if you can't give us a bailout package, in the first event we asked for a bailout package. And bailout mein, what we had asked for is simple things. Like, we are paying for the last 20, 30 years, some people 40 years, an employee state insurance fund is there, ESI. So out of that you pay. That has also not been done. Then with great difficulty, MSME gave a loan of 20% on collateral. But if someone has not taken a loan, and that also with the same market interest. So you see, we are ending up becoming more, liable to the banks. So what we are requesting is, either you give us a loan which is interest free, or give us a 2, 3, maximum 5%, and give us a 10-year loan so that we can slowly repay the government. We don't want a bailout like UK has done, like Germany has done, like France. I mean, I can give you 40 countries or 50 countries in the world who have supported tour operators. Even £50 voucher has been given so that people can spend in the restaurants. But nothing has been done. Second thing, we are requesting the government, things that can open up the economy. Because you see, I don't want a situation where more people will die of economic starvation than are going to die of COVID-19. You see, there's depression in the industry. People are on the verge of collapse. People are on the verge of committing suicide. So this is a very, very serious situation. It is a third world war where the enemy is invisible. So what we are requesting the government is, and we have been successful partly, is that, first, any visitor that was coming, he was being quarantined for 7 days in the hotel and 7 days home. So we put pressure on the government. We spoke to the ministers and the ruling party leaders that, look, let there be a negative test, COVID test, So finally, one step that we have achieved is that if you have a COVID negative test, right, for 96 hours before, then you don't need to be quarantined. So I think this is a very big achievement. This will generate some business travel, even compulsory travel, even emergency travel. People were reluctant. So this is one big achievement. Second thing which we have put pressure on the government is to start the air corridors. Now, they said we don't have the facility, the airport. I talked to the airport authority, GMR and other people. They said we cannot, sanitize and do so many people at a time. I said, do it slowly. So the air corridor to the US has opened, to UK, Europe has opened. And now second stage, Middle East and Southeast Asia and Africa is going to be opened. So this way, slowly the economy is going to open. Third thing we've asked the government as far as the MICE industry is concerned, that don't put restrictions. You see, if a hotel has a capacity of 1,000 rooms, you should allow meetings, events, conferences, marriages to 500 or 300, right? And outdoor events, minimum 500 you can allow. Now we saw the Prime Minister himself in the Ram Janmabhoomi temple inauguration had about 500 people in the open air. So if the government can do it, the private operators who did it for the government are all professionals. They are the best professionals in the world. So why are you restricted them? At least the domestic marriage, industry is there, the domestic conference industry is there. At least that can start. Something is better than nothing. Lastly, I would simply, request one more thing to the government is that the railway should start. You see, we have to learn to live with this disease. You see, it's like flu. You never know where it gets. As long as it's like tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is more infectious. Yellow fever is more infectious, right? So, but we are maintaining precautions. Even if the vaccine doesn't come out, we can't remain locked down.
Well, thank you so much for that elaborate and very comprehensive checklist, Mr. Goel, coming from you. All the points that you mentioned, they all made a huge sense to the fraternity. And I'm sure through this platform, the trade media, not just the trade media, but also the policy makers will definitely come to know more about our industry. With this, I would like to move to the Captain Swadesh Kumar, who is an equally respectable, experienced, and a veteran in the travel trade fraternity.
Raghavji, thank you for inviting us. And in fact, my veteran colleagues have said everything what they wanted to say. I would not touch any other points which has been already covered and taken care. I would like to share with two important things. Number one, being the founding member of the Indian Convention Promotion Bureau. I'm the only one at present in the whole bureau itself, and being its vice chair for almost 5 terms, that is equal to 1/3 of the time of the ICBB function today. I have the privilege to know a little bit of this part of the industry. I tell you one thing. The other day, your question is, how does the government is helping us? How to take help? There's a question. Let's focus on that. And that is, I told Mr. Jain, the new Joint Secretary, for God's sake, take ICBB in your lap. And don't keep the ICBB with ICBB. Let ICBB, because in the last 30 odd years, the government has not spent 1 rupee on publicity promotion on ICBB. 1 rupee. That's a tragedy. So here's a problem. He says, how can I give money to the ICBB to spend money on advertisement, publicity, because it's private, even though he's the chair. And I told the ICBB leadership today that for God's sake, hand over the ICBB to the lap of the government, and you form a different name to the whole structure itself. I think that is the way forward. If you let the government handle it, because government can easily spend money on publicity, promotion, and stuff like this. At present, they're not spending any money. So this is a different way to look at the situation. But I think that's the only way. If you want the government to spend money on publicity and promotion of the industry, this MICE industry, that's the only way. Please understand, government spend nothing for publicity and promotion, Raghavji, and that is the way I think. However, I also would like to tell you one thing more and interesting. that I'm a mountaineer myself. I've done some climbs in the Himalayas. And when when we climb the summit, a peak, each of us are in a rope. That is where a member of the association, for example. And then if somebody falls, break, one person put a brake, put an ice on the mountain and stop the brake and try to bring him off. If somebody falls in a crevasse, we go down, go deep and don't let him die. Take him out in formation. So this is how we climb the mountain. This is how we climb it. Today, the same situation come in the industry. We all have no choice but to work together as one unit, and one unit, and then try to resolve these issues. And I'm so happy that the faith has done the job of uniting us all together, and they've done a great job in terms of giving us an opportunity to see that we are surviving, and they're taking our points together. And government has no choice but to listen to us. Government has no choice but to listen to us, and they're listening. Tragedy is that they have no power. They can only a postman to take our information to the money, and that's all. So I think we need to move ourselves from Ministry of Tourism. Yes, we keep them copy mark to Ministry of Tourism. We must go to Ministry of Commerce ourselves, Ministry of Finance ourselves, where Subhashi just mentioned that he's written a letter to all the 500 plus member parliaments. Yes, this is the way. This is what we're doing together. And this is a second point of mine. So that means my point is to go direct to the different ministries and ask for help. Third point I would recommend, if this industry has to move faster, we need to go to the state governments. We cannot function in the current way that we're doing it. What's happening is in this country, tourism is a state subject. And our problem is the MICE industry is a part of the tourism. It's not part of commerce. I wish it was a part of the commerce. Probably things would have been different. Greece would know very well that if it's a part of the commerce, probably you would have got more money at present, because you have to go via the Ministry of Tourism. Now, state governments have their own agenda to play. And further worst is that the state government, even though saying go ahead and open blah, 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 but the local communities are not allowing you to do this. Because local communities are feeling that there is a danger of this particular disease coming into their communities. Without realizing it will any come, it has to come. We cannot stop this. So I think our approach has to be three-pronged. And the last and third one I mentioned to you is that we as an industry must go to the state governments. Fortunately, I would like to share with you, the Kerala government is giving money to the individual tour operators and regions. They're giving it. A very small amount, whatever they're giving it. Uttarakhand government is giving to the small amount, certain industries. Ladakh is helping. All people are helping. I think we need to go to the state governments. Our focus has to the state governments. I think these are, but let's be positive. Let's appreciate the government's difficulties and problems. Anyway, in the last 4 decades of my life in this adventure, business of MICE, adventure, tourism, I find we are on our own. We help each other. That's the way we are on our own. And this is where we should be happy, as long as we're not interfering our progress. Thank you, Raghav.
Thank you so much, Captain, for those words of wisdom. And it's little disappointing to hear that we are on our own, despite the fact that we are the harbinger of economic growth. And it's also very rightly put by Mr. Girish Quatra when he said that Singapore, Thailand, and many nations are actually supporting MICE as their own baby, and they understand the true significance and power it can unleash for the economy. Well, with this, I'd like to move to Mr. Gajesh Girdhar, who has also spent decades in this industry. He has worked with the fraternity. He's also the founder chairman of NEMA. We'd like to understand his perspective about what the fraternity is expecting from the government at this time and what has been the update so far. Over to you, Mr. Gajesh.
Thank you, Raghavji. My seniors and friends, they've already spoken much on the subject. So I think I'm not anything else. But still, I would like to share my views and my thoughts and my ideas, which may help the MICE industry to come up. The campaign by Ministry of Tourism, Dekho Apna Desh. It is basically, it was a showcase for travel agents. It was basically for travel agents and tour operators to promote the domestic tourism. Such campaign is required to be promoted for the corporates, so that corporates think that there is opportunity for them, and they can, instead of thinking of international tourism or outbound tourism, they can think of using the state's tourism, state destinations for their events and the exhibitions and all. Now, one thing is there, so that sort of the campaign is required. Similarly, the campaign at small levels, so that to show that it is now safe to travel. The people must come out and have a small meetings and small this thing, like we talk about the big giants. It's not that. We should speak for small corporates who are taking an incentive group of 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, 200 people to different various destinations. So they must think of doing their events in the states. And whereas state governments should also contact the corporates, or should come out with such a policy that the corporate should be given incentive, so that they think of having their event in their states. Like Rajasthan, they have almost everything to offer. Jammu and Kashmir, they have everything to offer. But the only thing is to attract the corporate, come and see our this thing and have an event in our state. So this sort of campaigns should be started by the Ministry of Tourism, state tourism boards, and everyone should come out with in a big way, so that it will be an opening for MICE industry, so that people can think. Secondly, the main thing is, I've already said on many platforms, that we need a clear-cut guidelines from the government now. That these are the guidelines to hold an event. Like they said, if you want to have an event in a hotel, these are the conditions. If you want to have this, we should have a clear-cut guideline. It's not that it should not be a partial guideline. It should be concrete guidelines that, okay, here are the guidelines and you can go ahead with it. Now, some state, they have their different guidelines. Some state, they have their different guidelines. So we have to be, the government has to give us a concrete guideline, so that we start thinking of MICE events again. So this is the only thing which I would like to share, that some sort of campaigns promoting the events, the MICE industry is required, so that we all come out from this pandemic and the worst situation that we are facing from. Although it's going to be humble start, but still a motivation is required. So that's all. Thank you, Raghav.
Raga, I want to make one point here. If you, keep in on the Mr. Girza's point. The problem is that the protocols, COVID-19 protocols of each industry has to be prepared. What we have done is that we have, in the adventure tourism industry, for example, we have prepared our own protocol and went to the government and handed over to the copy to them. This is a protocol. Not only this, we're getting our protocol made in Hindi and local languages, so that this is required when you look on the spot with other people. So I think the time has come. Maybe the industry, our MICE industry needs to prepare own COVID-19 protocols and hand over to the people and tell the government this is what we feel. Because ultimately, first important thing in my opinion is safety of your employees, safety of your customers, safety of the community where you have run your business. And I think all is important is to follow those COVID guidelines.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Just add to what the captain said. Just 1 minute, I'll add to what the captain said. Captain, hearing what happened, of course, in the best interest of everybody's knowledge, that what ICP did here was that Indian Convention Promotion Bureau, we did a joint meeting with all the institutions. When we invited Sanjay as a acting president at the time for IMA, we invited ISA, Sunil More, the president there, Sanjay, Sunil More. Then we had invited the president of Hotel Association of India. That time, I think Rohit Chatwala was not there, and somebody else from the board from Taj had represented it. and then we invited Bala, the president of IEIA. So what we did, that we had a joint meeting with all the 4 major associations which are involved in MICE, and then we have submitted a common white paper to the government. We took best of what Sanjay Association was doing, IMA was doing, what was ISA doing, and what was IMA doing, and IEI was doing. So we of course did an internal analysis, did a meeting with everybody, took their best practices or what they felt that should be there during the COVID times for opening up, and we have submitted to government a detailed document. And of course, we've been pushing hard to the government directly and time and again, and through of course your initiative, Raghav. I think you also have submitted to Minister of Commerce. So I think those things are still there, but of course we have done that. What the captain mentioned, that we have created a common umbrella, and of course took the input from all the industries and then submitted to the government. Only thing is that we're waiting for government to open now, which is the most important thing. And as I think captain mentioned, that we need to be Atmanirbhar, and I think we're around for the last 40 years and need to go forward like that. I partly agree with that. And I think what we can do, we can't expect monitoring from the government now, any funds from the government. We should just request the government to open up in the best possible way. We should put a document again to the government. Through faith, we've done it many times. Now we can of course put a document again and tell the government, let's open up now. And we request the minister, as Mr. Goyal mentioned in his talk, that we request the government of 300 people, 500 people. But of course, we submitted a document again after that. We mentioned about 50% space. For example, a exhibition in a convention center has 10,000 square meters. So give us 5,000 of meters to operate, and so that we follow all the safety guidelines. And of course, our delegates, our employees, and visitors, everybody is safe.
Of course. Well, this is where I wanted to come at, and I wanted to ask you, Mr. Quatra, that personally you are into the business of conventions, primarily working for the large scales and even for the medium scale conferences as a PCO. Can you tell us how confident you are, if you want to, if a government official is listening to us here today, what you'd like to tell to the government? How ready you are to work in the new norms? How can you brace for the new normal? And what best practices can you implement to make sure that your conferences or business events or exhibitions take place in a safe and effective manner, just like other businesses are happening?
Thank you, Raghav. Question is of course greatly of my interest. I've been talking about it personally also as CEO to meetings, and more of course as secretary to ICBP also, and given various presentations, many various colleges also on this. So what of course we have done internally, we have made a guideline, a SOP on how to operate during COVID times. So we have taken minute details for a hotel like Taj, for example. We were working with Taj very closely. Just to quote an example there, we identified 220 points which could be eliminated, to make sure that your traveler is safe there. We have spoken about the meals in the conference to go on packed meals, not of course buffet meals, which could of course transmit infection. We have spoken about 6 feet distance in the conference hall. We have spoken about sanitization during the coffee breaks, lunch breaks. We also spoken about very important thing, that the production that we do usually from the outside vendors should be eliminated for the time being. And those vendors should be empaneled with the venue. They sanitize, they empanel the vendor, and they should use their own stuff. So we've been talking about a lot of things and submitted a policy on those lines also to the government. But important thing is that, we understand there will be impact on events, of course, days, months, and years to come. So what we have recommended to the government and of course to industry partners also is that we can start in phases. I'm sure the other industry stakeholders can comment on that. We can start in phases. We know there's a fear of air travel. Sanjay, of course, took a flight to Goa, but a lot of people have, they have a fear of travel. So what we can start with state events first. Let the government give a permission of state event. Let us start Delhi events first. And then of course, then Delhi, then we start with the more travel places. For example, then we start North India events, then national events. I think that is in phase wise, we can eliminate the fear. That is one. And second thing is, we should be talking about spaces, the space that are available with us. Then we, as the Hotel Association of India or the Convention Center Association of India, we should submit to the government that these are the places available with us. We have studied internally. We understand the pros and cons of using the half meeting space. And then we submit a document to the government that, we want to operate like this. So starting from air travel, where of course initially there were talks about one person, 2 people sitting in one row or 4 people sitting in a row. So I think starting from there, serving the fixed meals and, small things matter, For example, in entering a convention center, we can have multiple entrances rather than having one entrance, so that which can of course eliminate the chances of people collating together. Small things we have done and captured, given to the government. Hopefully hoping to hear from the government. One important thing I love to mention here, that one small thing, of course, Mr. Goel also mentioned, can of course change a lot of things. Government should, this is the time that government should come forward. That they should come out with a nice film. They should come with the events film that we are ready to open now. Let's bounce back. India is ready. Let's bounce back. India had so many cases, and we are 90% of cure rate. For example, Delhi as a city, 91% cure rate in Delhi. So we can start giving an example of cities or country as a whole. Country should, of course, come together. I mean, the Tourism Ministry, Ministry of Commerce, come together, come out with a film, and put it to the government. We as ICVB also, just to add to it, Raghav, Indian Commission promoted from our own initiative, because we knew that the process in the government is going to take time. We developed our own MICE film, which should be out now, maybe next couple of weeks' time, should be inaugurated by the Minister of Tourism or Prime Minister of India. We're working on that. So that film talks about what India is all about, best following now in India, to eliminate COVID in a day-to-day life. So all those things will be done. I think that answers your question, Raghav.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Quatra, and very rightly said. And with this, I take this quick fire round to the other panelists, and I'd like to move to Mr. Sanjoy Roy, and I'd like to understand what does he feel can be the new norms for the event industry, maybe business events, because we've seen government events have started to happen successfully. What can business event fraternity do to reimpose the confidence and get a reopen status?
I think, as everybody said, our first focus is this is a health crisis. Put the protocols in place. Make sure that the protocols are standardized across sectors, and it shouldn't be one. And for example, the other day there was a election rally in Madhya Pradesh which Jyotiraditya Scindia took, which had thousands of people. I mean, so why are they deferring protocols in place for deferring sets of people? So can we get one protocol across, be it airlines, be it physical events, museums, etc.? I think that will, to a large extent, remove this confusion. In Goa we can do this, in Delhi we can do that, but in Haryana, which has now become a republic of its own, we can't. It's ridiculous. How do you do business in an atmosphere of uncertainty? You cannot. Nobody can plan for the future with uncertainty. So to be able to go forward with any kind of business activity, we need confidence. We need the sense of work as usual. So let's get that in place collectively. So first is a uniform protocol across states, across sectors. That's the first thing we need to look at. Second, as I said, this is a health crisis. We must be aware of that. It's not going away anytime soon. And as Mr. Goel said, let's move forward knowing that's not going away. In the same way that you take precautions when you have tuberculosis or pneumonia, which is Spanish flu from the 1914s, put those protocols in place, let's move forward, ensure vigorous testing, which initially government did not do. The reason why you're seeing the increase today in the number of COVID cases, because suddenly they've realized that they have to come up to speed. It's too little too late. Can we put into place again a vigorous testing scheme? When I had to do my COVID test coming to Goa, I had to get a prescription, had to get somebody to book a time, I had to send my Aadhaar card in advance, send my PAN card details, register online. I mean, how can any poor person access that kind of stuff? It's ridiculous. It's a health situation, boss. Any what's it called, path lab, test lab, etc. You should be able to go get your test done, and that's it. It should be as simple as that. Why are we making it this hawa that we've created? It's ridiculous. You've created a fear factor. Can we stop being fearful? Again, as Captain Saab said and Gajesh said and Kailash said, let's stop being frightened. Forget this Lakshman Rekha. It's over and done with. We understand there was a need at that point of time. Now let's move forward. And thirdly, which I think is the most important thing, we have to get some kind of financial input. We have to get some input out there. We have to get input from government. We have to get money from government as an investment into the sector. Only then will we be able to kickstart demand. We cannot kickstart demand. And as one of you said, if you're going to a restaurant today in the UK or Europe, you do get 50% whatever. You get 70% salaries into your account so you can stabilize your organizations. We cannot do it by ourselves. Not possible, boss. If the economy is contracting, as we've seen at 16.7%, and we're going to land up at minus 8.3%, which is the conservative thing at the end of this year in terms of our GDP negative growth, you're looking at a 12% annual contraction. None of us will have money in our banks. It's as simple as that. So forget trying to do Atmanirbhar. We won't be Atmanirbhar. We'll be all out on the street. We need to understand that. You and I may have savings. What about the others? What about the ecosystem? What about the person who prints the flex that's behind you, or Girish or Subhash's people? How will they survive? We forget talking about ourselves. We need to get government to understand that this is not about the fat cats that they think will continue to fund their elections. It's not about that. It's about the average person on the street who has nothing, no financial security, and is on the street because he has no choice. And until and unless we do our duty by God and by country, we're going to be in a very, very, very difficult situation. And no amount of money, as we know, can kickstart an economy once it's down. You'll need 5 times the amount of money. The government has been told this 30 times by every think tank, every business association, every World Bank, RBI, etc. Well, it's time they woke up and not just left it in God.
Sure. Wonderfully, very well put, Mr. Roy. It's time, otherwise it may well be very, very late. Well, with this, I'd like to move to Mr. Kailash Murarka. Mr. Murarka may have a little different viewpoint, because for him, I think his main prerogative is the safety for this year. This is what I understand from his earlier message. But I think even you would agree that we require a restart date. We require the government to give us a permission, because it takes 3 to 4 months for us to plan an event and then probably work in advance for that. So do you feel, please give us your opinion, what do you feel? Should we get a restart date from the government, or should we wait for the cases to subside? What is your honest opinion on this, sir?
Thank you again, Raghavji. I think it has been a wonderful rongte khade karne wala session tha. I have been hearing all of them, and too much of insight. I have gained a lot about MICE, which I was not having insight. So see, the situation is as or worst which could have happened. So now everybody wants to start their business. Like we want to start exhibition industry, hotels wants to start their hotel industry. जो जिनकी इंडस्ट्री है, they want to start their businesses. So everybody wants to start businesses. But as I said, we cannot be just thinking at one side. Okay, I am not insulating government on this, that government is doing their job. Not at all. In fact, I am saying it is a gross and utter failure. If you look at the world over, what other governments are doing, how other countries are featuring, we are worst. We really do not know. I mean, we are doing Ram Janmabhoomi, and we are doing elections, and we are doing JEE, NET exams. We are doing everything, but thinking what will happen after 6 months. What Mr. Sanjay said just now, Sujoy said, it is, I mean, it is just a very, very small thing of actually what is likely to happen if it doesn't improve. So I don't know. I have never seen anybody serious from government side thinking about it. They keep coming sometime, you know, as if like they see a dream that we have to announce something. They will appear on the TV and they will say we have so many 100 lakhs crore scheme. But that scheme, what happened? It goes to whom? It is benefiting whom? We all do not know. So I think first of all, we all have to see how we can safely arrive at a landing platform where we hear that now there is a no threat from Corona. So I think first and foremost target for all of us should be that. Sujoyji, if we are left with money, or we are on the street, or we are at the home, or whatever, that all we can analyze, assess only if we are alive. So first of all, it is important that all of us are safe as far as the health is concerned. On that also, I think very little is happening as far as government is concerned. I have never heard restarting exhibition dates are concerned, Raghavji. Jab tak, till the time this pandemic is not slowing down, we are not reaching a plateau. I don't know how we can even tell government. Tomorrow they will say, okay, you start after 1 month. I am not prepared to launch an exhibition after 1 month, where I really do not know what will happen after 1 month. Because when you want to launch a date, an exhibition, there are so much expenditures you have to commit. You have to book the venue, you have to pay advance, you have to book the vendors, you have to pay advance, you have to book the tickets, you have to pay in advance. After having all that, if you feel that instead of subsiding, this pandemic has gone more aggressive, so everything has to be cancelled. Number one. Number two, unless and until there is a certainty, no exhibitor is going to participate. After all, exhibitors also have to come forward and take participation. No? So I think we all should be ready with a very foolproof, solid plan on paper. You know, there should be a blueprint, there should be a complete charter of demand, what all we want from the government, and wait for a right time. The moment we see that, yes, we have touched to the peak, now it is starting subsiding, that is the time we have to knock the door, force them, don't give us subsidy, you join us doing exhibition. Every segment, every vertical, whether it is pharma, whether it is consumer durable, whether it is textile, whether it is automobile, every single industry, all this time, this, my senior friend said, 40 years they have been collecting taxes from us. It is the time they repay to the industry. So every industry show, they have to partner. In fact, they have to organize a show and invite the industry. Join us. We want to do this exhibition and invite exhibitors and visitors and see the country will flourish.
Very well said, Mr. Murarka. And well, this is a wonderful panel discussion where we are having insights and different opinions from all the speakers. This is what we respect and this is what we all hoped and anticipated for. With this, I'd like to move to Captain Swadesh Kumar, and I'd like to understand from him, what is your take? How can we build? What can we do? Because as our speakers agree, government is not coming forward to help us. My quick fire question to you is, what can we do to safeguard ourselves, to protect ourselves as a fraternity and survive?
Keep on working, my friend. You cannot stop working. Just keep on working. There's a mantra to survive today. Improve your skills and wait for the right time to come and hit the market. You know, one thing good is happening today in the market is I was looking at saying so much MICE is very active. Much active than any other part of the industry. You have your own exhibitions taking place in September. You have a faith meeting in November. You have a ITB. You have Asta, Jata. You have so many things happening. There's maybe virtual, but it's happening. So there's a very, very positive sign of the whole thing. Yes, it's a danger that people get used to virtual and you are off on the ground. But nevertheless, it is important. You know, one of the worries we have in the industry is, we're talking within ourselves, that if we are not active, we'll be dead. When the actual time comes, there'll be nothing will happen in front. 2021, we're all expecting 2021 business will start in terms of next March, April, maybe September. And if we are not active today, my friends, we'll be finished. There is no way we can get our business. So my advice to my partners in the industry is, keep on working, and God willing, business will start moving in, will bounce back. And last thing I would like to share with you is my personal opinion. And not only my personal opinion, my entire industry's opinion is that business will bounce back to 150% what we left in 2019. It has to move to 150%. People are dying, sitting at jail in the houses. They want to come out of it. So with this, I hope and I pray that I'm right. Thank you.
Thank you for that lovely message, Captain. And with this, I'd like to move to Mr. Gajesh Girdhar to take his remarks.
Yeah, Raghavji, thank you very much for introducing me. That I come from a tier 4 cities, tier 3, tier 4 cities. I come from Muzaffarnagar. So when I started in 2000, when I jumped into this business, I had a hope, that that it's a good industry. I can jump in and find my own way here. But after 20 years during this pandemic, it's, again, I have to think whether I will survive in this industry or not, because the scene has totally changed. Whatever I have gained in last 20 years, it has just vanished. I'm remembering 2000, that I am at the same place from where I started. But, I still have a hope, it will take 1 year, 2 years, and things will come back to normal. Anything is possible. Like the recent example is Independence Day celebration at Red Fort. There was guidelines, there was social distancing, there was sanitization, and if there's a big event happening. Similarly, if we have a guidelines, if we have something from the government, we can also arrange similar sort of events. And people are ready to arrange events, and people are ready to hold such events. It's not that people don't want to, but there are restrictions. And the main thing is the fear that they have. But if Independence Day celebration can happen at Red Fort, anything can happen. If you have a proper guideline and we follow the instructions and we follow the proper this thing, so anything is possible. Only thing is we are just waiting for the guidelines, and slowly the motivational campaign, I will say, it is must during the current scenario, and the government, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Commerce should think in this way, so that everybody gets motivated and things start soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gajesh ji. And my final question, I'm coming to Mr. Subhash Goel to give his concluding remarks for this session.
I think each and every participant has made very, very valid points, and I agree with all of them. What I would say is that the world lives on hope. We should never give up hope. And like Captain Sudesh Kumar said, that we must keep working. You see, there is a quotation that business is like cycling. The moment you stop, you fall. So every crisis, you have to look at an opportunity. And the opportunity is to improve your skills.
I'd like to thank all our esteemed speakers for their valuable time and support.